A very good afternoon and welcome to today's news bulletin. It's the final Tuesday of the month and we've got a packed lineup for you, from the long-awaited reopening of schools to a tragic land dispute in Kilgoris that has left 7 people dead. Well, there's a lot to cover, but first, let's take a look at the headlines making news today.
So far, the government has not found it prudent to pay the capitation to the schools.
Watu tano sasa wako chini. Mumeua nani? Ni nini mnataka hivi?
Introduce them to pornography, and this is what used to make them, to make him want to keep on, telling them this is okay.
Tulipofika hapa Kabeta tuliambiwa lazima tulipie medical fee around 15,000.
They tell you, Madam is to be there.
Today filed a contempt of court proceedings.
Welcome, my name is Eunice Mutua and let's dive right into the bulletin. As schools nationwide return for the second term, a well-known crisis is still developing. The government's tardiness in releasing capitation payments has been criticized by school leaders once more. The Elimu Bora Working Group and other stakeholders have expressed outrage over the government and schools' imposition of what they describe as unlawful levies on parents for what should be free primary and junior secondary school education, citing this funding delay as one of the reasons for the additional levies charged to parents.
So far, the government has not found it prudent to pay the capitation to the schools. And yet when politicians talk, they talk about free education. Yet parents are supposed to pay some levies. Principals have no options. Because if there is no food in school, that is a recipe for chaos. They will have to charge. Because how do you run the schools? And when you close early, you are punished.
Serikali haipeani pesa yenye inatosha kwa shule. Yenye inapeana mwalimu mkuu akienda kupanga hata itoshi ya kununua rimu.
Wamepata shida sana kupata capitation kutoka kwa serikali. Serikali inakawia sana mpaka hata muhuri unaisha bila kutumana hii. Lakini hii ni shida ambayo inaletwa na serikali.
So far the government has not found it prudent to pay the capitation to the schools. And yet when politicians talk, they talk about free education. Yet parents are supposed to pay some levies. Principals have no options. Because if there is no food in school, that is a recipe for chaos. They will have to charge. Because how do you run the schools? And when you close early, you are punished.
Serikali haipeani pesa yenye inatosha kwa shule. Yenye inapeana mwalimu mkuu akienda kupanga hata itoshi ya kununua rimu.
Wamepata shida sana kupata capitation kutoka kwa serikali. Serikali inakawia sana mpaka hata muhuri unaisha bila kutumana hii. Lakini hii ni shida ambayo inaletwa na serikali.
Imagine waking up to a show every morning that entertains, educates,
that keeps you glued to the screen with interesting topics. Talk about health, fashion, business, fitness, and spiritual nourishment. Whether you're enjoying your cup of coffee, tea, milk, ama kauji, Younib Breakfast Show is the place to be. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. with me, Peninah Wachera, here on Younib TV.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tupo side, kata simu manze. This is Rising Star, the best show in East and Central Africa, au sio manze? So leo manze tuko hapa Nairo, au sio? I go by the name Alex, or you can call me the guy. So sisi kama Rising Star manze tumekuja na vitu mzuri. Hii mwaka tumeamua tunapiga shughuli safi vile mnataka, hivyo ndio tunapiga hii show, au sio? So kwa Rising Star tutakuwa na segment zingine hatari. Kitu ya kwanza tutakuwa na tea. Tukimalizia show yetu manze tutakuwa tunawaletea tea, what is trending. And then also pale tutakuwa na games. Unajua nini na games manze? So guest wetu akikam through tutakuwa tunacheza game, alafu pia tutakuwa na ile segment pia ya maswali ya kujua wasanii wetu wametoka wapi, challenges zenye wamekuwa wakipitia, au sio? Yes. Bila kumalizia manze, tunasemaga mnaweza tupata pale YouTube at Younib Media TV, au sio? Yes. So bila kupoteza wakati manze, thank you so much, we love you so much. Continue watching Younib TV, and this is Rising Star. Kaboom. That's it.
You know what, good folks? This is the Coffee Talk, and I, one and only the grandpa.
How do you merge motherhood with all this? At what point do you get time with your daughter?
I have to say, motherhood is bittersweet.
Welcome to the Younib TV.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Sage himself.
Nini unaweza angalia useme ulifanya impact moja, let's say kani Kangemi, kama ni hapo Parklands, nakumbuka kuna time tuliekanga show moja ikajaa.
And today in our coffee talk, as we enjoy our cup of coffee and unwinding the evening, there is a difference between being a cheater
and a liar. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, the difference, there is a thin line between a cheater and a liar.
Very good, people. This has been the Coffee Talk Show with the Grandpa. And you know what, good people? Life has solutions. It's only that we do not speak. And if we do, we fear. We have solutions. But sometimes when we get these solutions are distorted. Keep it here at Coffee Talk, where the conversation starts and never ends.
Join me every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. for great conversation here at the Coffee Talk. Younib TV. I want the best.
We apologize for that technical issue. Now, tensions are still high in Kilgoris constituencies, Angata Barikoi, where residents live in fear after 5 people were brutally killed while opposing the delineation of a disputed piece of property. During the violence, 15 individuals were hurt, including 5 police officers. The 6,000-acre property is the subject of controversy and a death trail after police allegedly opened fire on demonstrators, leading to a fatal altercation with the residents.
Ameua nyani. Watu tano sasa wako chini. Mumeua nyani. Ni nini mnataka hizo shamba hivi? What is interest?
Haki ya Mungu, watu wanawawa bure kwa shamba yao. Mimi nimezaliwa hapa Hang'ata 30 years. Tukipewa na moyo akaenda.
Sisi tulikuwa tunapalilia. Kidogo kidogo tunasikia mlio wa risasi. Kidogo kidogo watu wameanza kupigwa ovyo.
DCC ambayo iko hapa, nataka kuhakikishia nyinyi kama gavana wa kaunti hii, vile hii incident imefanyika, yeye lazima ataenda.
Tunataka kusisitiza amani kati yetu na majirani wetu. Hii shida ya shamba iko hapa, sio ya hawa majirani wetu.
I really appeal for calm so that as from tomorrow our senior officers who will visit the place can have the opportunity to assess the situation.
Following shocking claims of long-term sexual abuse that sent shockwaves through the community, 4 girls were rescued from their father's custody in Wachera village in Juja, Kiambu County. According to Cabinet Secretary Hannah Cheptumo, who oversaw the rescue effort, investigations reveal that the father not only mistreated his daughters, but also allegedly helped arrange abortions to conceal his crimes. Cheptumo advised Kenyans to be on the lookout for any suspected cases of abuse and to report them right away, warning that the government has stepped up efforts to apprehend offenders and provide justice to the victims.
Introduce them to pornography, and this is what used to make them, to make him want to keep on, telling them this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. The most recent, the eldest of them found him with their youngest sister, who is less than 10 years old, and she had to ask Dad, "Are you really my real dad? Why would you do this to me and now even our youngest sibling?"
The brother was wondering why are my sisters favored by the father? So when this act happened, it was actually, he was molesting the young girl, the one who is 10 years old. So that is when one of the girls realized what was happening. And she wrote a message in her hand and said, "I have actually procured an abortion and it is my dad who has done it." So she did it on her hand like this. "My dad is responsible." So that is how she was able to pass the message because of the extreme pressure and the frustration that was there.
Some overseas job seekers who are hired through the government's Kazi Maju initiative say that the Ministry of Labor defrauded them, claiming that even though they have temporary job offer letters, they are still in the country waiting to travel to the Gulf countries for the promised positions more than 6 months later. The distressed job seekers demand the positions or the cash they gave to the hiring companies.
Tulipofika hapa Kabeta tuliambiwa lazima tulipie medical fee around 15,000.
They tell you madam is with that process. Ukiwauliza where is the madam, they don't know where madam is.
Nikawauliza kwa nini wamenirudishia 37,000 of which hakuna process yenye walinifanyia yenye ilikuwa iko included among the 55,000. Kama haikuwa kazi ya ukweli, watu waweze naweza omba tu hii committee tuweze kurudishiwa pesa yetu yote.
So I'd like for the committee to do proper research on the offer letters, the refunds, so that we understand who are these players.
Tutaita Ministry of Labor na mambo ya hiyo committee ya National Employment Authority.
We are going for a short break and we'll be back with more. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The fate of thousands of students who rely on county government tuition assistance is uncertain as the dispute between governors and budget controller Margaret Nyakango continues. Murang'a Governor Irungu Kang'ata has filed a petition in court asking the court to find Nyakango guilty of contempt of court for failing to allow governors to provide tuition assistance as the court recently advised.
Today filed a contempt of court proceedings against control of budget for refusing to orders that were issued by the court in Nakuru. The 47 counties are impacted by this case. The court said, and I quote, point 6 of that order, that for clarity and avoidance of doubt, this court hereby clarifies the orders issued by the court on 3rd of February 2025 were only restraining parties from approving fresh bursaries extending beyond the current financial year, nothing else. The irony is some counties, Murang'a included, we have the resources and we are ready to support our children, but now this problem.
Human rights activists and Gen Zs have asserted that the government is targeting young people by bringing up the issue of criminal gangs. They claim that the government is focusing on young people and intends to utilize the issue of criminal gangs to prevent them from organizing in advance of the general elections in 2027. They have also claimed that the security authorities have not done their job well in dealing with criminal gangs. They urged the youth to maintain their resolve and not let fear stop them from organizing, including obtaining voter cards and national IDs in order to fully participate in the general election in 2027.
There seems to be a deliberate move to disenfranchise the youth of Kenya in the name of fighting criminal gangs. What we have seen in the last few days is, a clear and deliberate move to try and ensure that the youthful voices, who are the real opposition right now in this country, are targeted and, by security agencies. What they're trying to do is to make sure that the youth are not mobilizing, that whenever the youth come together to organize themselves, they want to use the guise of criminal gangs to disrupt anything and everything that is being forwarded by the youth of this country.
CS wa internal security alikuwa anasema kwamba wanajua wanasiasa ambao wanatumia vijana vibaya ama watengeneza magenge, na kama wanawajua ndio wawashike. Tusipate vijana wanahangaishwa, wanakosa mwelekeo wa maisha kwa sababu kutumika vibaya. Hili ni jambo ambalo serikali lazima ingilie kati na ihakikishe kwamba mambo ya insecurity inaangaliwa.
They cannot say that they want to improve security. They want to tackle the problem of insecurity. Yet there are no programs that are going to be a long-lasting solution to the issue of insecurity in Mombasa.
Kenya's football rising stars under coach Salim Babu are intensifying their preparations for the debut at the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON in Egypt. Despite being placed in a difficult group that involves Morocco, Nigeria, and Tunisia, the rising stars are hoping to achieve positive results. On Sunday night, Egypt defeated South Africa 1-0 at the Cairo International Stadium in their match opener of the campaign.
Target yetu ya kwanza muhimu ni kuqualify for the World Cup, and then tukisha qualify tunajua tuko hapo juu, and then sasa tunapigania kikombe. But the main target I think ni kuqualify for the World Cup. And inamaanisha for us to qualify for the World Cup inamaanisha tunafaa kuwin game zote zenye zinakama. Na for us to win inatufanya sisi tuwe champions. So in all ways we have to be champions. Expectation from Kenyans I think wanafaa kwanza kuzoea, itaanza na sisi. Itakuwa hali ya mazoea. So hii ya kwanza na hiyo itakuwa ya mwisho. So relax tu, tumepiga training poa, tunajua tunaenda tutapiga performance poa na wataenjoy na waanze kuzoeana sahi. Tuko ready enough kuface any team. So far so good. Any team inakam sisi tuna deal nao venye nafaa. And like I said before, we are here to win. Tujakuja hapa kama losers.
Mimi naweza sema so far so good. Tuna train poa. Kila mchezaji ana show up. na aim yetu sisi sote ni kuwin tournament.
And that brings us to the end of today's bulletin. As we close, remember the words of Winston Churchill. The truth is incontrovertible, malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is. In a world full of noise, may you continue to seek truth, speak with purpose, and listen with attention. Thank you for choosing Younib TV to stay informed. Until next time, stay safe, stay sharp, and as always, keep your eyes open and your mind even more so. My name is Eunice Mutua, and have a blessed afternoon.